I think everybody's overreacting to what we already knew. Um, I'll share the video. Don't tap the screen if you're watching while live. Um, yeah, we all over. My bad. I don't know, man. Why? Anytime I go live on this channel, it started tripping. I went on the same route on my main channel, and I didn't have one streaming issue yesterday. So back to what I was saying before I was rudely cut off, and I'm fighting with my dog. Is my problem with the Lions' reluctancy, being reluctant to spend money, is, and and I don't know how long I was cut off for because I didn't look at the screen, but when you look at it, no matter if they're at the 1 yard line and they may need a player to push them over the goal line to win a Super Bowl, or whether it's whatever it may be, right, to get them there, they refuse to spend it. My problem is this: they were down bad for many, many years, right? They were fine. They were down bad. I mean, for felt like 30 years, they hadn't won a playoff game. It might have been over 30 years. You talking about 91, 2001, 2020? Yeah, over 30 years before they won a playoff game. And the first thing they do when they start winning games, they shoot the tickets up sky high, right? You start charging all these extremely high ticket prices to a lot of people that were loyal to the. Oh shit! I almost hurt my leg. Come on, man. A lot of people who was loyal to the franchise. That's a fact. A lot of people had season tickets when they was bad, horrible, trash, and they kept their season tickets. A lot of people bought individual tickets, came to the games nobody wanted to see, came to the games that people wanted to see, and they, as soon as they start winning, they start shooting the prices up 1,000,000,000%. Okay, that's fine and dandy, but why shoot the prices up? Why shoot those prices up, in my opinion, if you're not going to invest into the product? Come on, you're not going to invest, and you're right there about to go for a Super Bowl, and what they telling us is they basically running it back with the same guys. They brought back Marcus Davenport. They brought back Levi Onwuzurike. You know what I'm saying? And that Rory Lopez guy is just a placeholder until Elaine McNeil pretty much fully healed from the ACL injury. You know, so it's, to me, how do you run the ticket up on the fans, but then you don't want to invest that money back into the franchise? I don't get that. And, Philadelphia, they went out there and went for it. The Los Angeles Rams, when they went to the Super Bowl, they went all out financially and went for it. So, in a way, obviously, there is an overreaction because, from the simple fact, we already knew this. They're not spending no money on anybody. What they do is they get guys like Adrian Peterson. They get these old, washed-up guys, and it just shows you the representation of frugal. No matter if they start turning hard profits, they start winning football games. It was 15-2 and close. And you like, man, if they just get a Josh Sweat, if they just trade for a Trey Hendrickson, if they could just, sign this type of guy. Who are the guys that they historically signed? Guy like Marcus Davenport last offseason, Minnesota paid the vast majority of his contract. They got him from the cheap, right? This year again, they got him for the cheap, right? Who do they go get? Other than that, they go get a guy like Rory Lopez for the cheap. You know what I'm saying? They never had an issue with keeping their guys. It's like they get to this point, and they get to the point of winning for cheap and through drafting guys, and paying guys early so they don't have to overpay or have to really pay them what they deserve. And they train of thought is like, let's be cheap. Let's continue to be cheap. We won 15 games with this model. I mean, we also lost 16 games in the season with this model, but we just gonna keep being cheap. We're not gonna go for it. We just got a guy in Brad Holmes who can do less with more, who can do more with less. And that's and that's the thing about it. That's the thing about it. They found the guy who's going to do this and do paint this image that we're going to win for the cheapest dollar amount. That's what it boiled down to. I want you to do the job. And think about this too for a minute. Ben Johnson left the Detroit Lions and his contract dwarfed Dan Campbell's contract. He's getting $13 million a year. Let me put this in totality. I read that he's getting like $13 million a year. I don't know what Dan is getting. I think it might be 8, 9. You think the Lions was like, well, you know what? Hey, let's tear Dan's contract up and give him 13.5. Let's give him 14 million. No. The guy that you gave an opportunity to is getting $13 million. Hey, the Lions like, hey, we just paid you, Dan. We just paid you. Take it or leave it, compadre. Take it or leave it, SA. What a real franchise would do, like, okay, Ben got 13. Let's rip this shit up. You got 14, 13.5, 13.8, whatever it may be. That's what a real franchise would do. This franchise is still cheap, and they want to win cheap. That's as simple as that. And it's going to be some bad decisions by Brad Holmes because he's handicapped. You know, and you in places like Cleveland, Cincinnati, Detroit, Indianapolis, you're handy-fucking-capped. You're handicapped. If you would allow him to get an opportunity like the Washington Commanders, Brad Holmes would probably go down as the greatest GM of all time. And why people voted him the executive of the year 2 times in a row is because what he's doing in Detroit. He doesn't have the full array of resources to do what he needs to do. That bitch cheap. That's just what it is. There's a reason why they booed Martha or Sheila. She fucking cheap. And you just ask yourself, what do these people got money to spend on? How many suits can you buy? Come on. What are the Ford family buying that they don't have? But it's fine and dandy. I think a lot of us is like, man, hey, the Lions was house money. They held us over. Man, the Pistons is back. The Tigers is back. The Wings is back. I think in the back of y'all mind, y'all wanted to act like SOL was over and but y'all knew it wasn't. I just got the balls to say what a lot of people just don't want to say. I'm not going to believe it until they achieve it. I'll talk about Zypher. That's really not a blow, and I explain that just before I get off here. But honestly, we can't be disappointed in something that we already knew. If you knew, hey man, if I let my dog off the leash right now, and I know he likes to run away and he runs away, can I really be disappointed in him? Because I know he won't run away. But can I be really disappointed in him? And I'll prove it. Come here, Enrique. That's not really his name. Sit. Hey, Enrique. Sit, Enrique. Sit. You can go home with him. He can come sit. I don't care what you do. Run away. Save me some money on dog food. Bye. He ain't going too far. But yeah. But if I knew he was gonna run away, you'd think I would let this nigga off the leash if he was vicious or he was confrontational or if I knew he was going. No. So I can't. But if he did, I can't be disappointed. Because I already knew. So we knew they weren't spending the money. But in the back of you guys' mind, you knew, as I knew, this team not to be trusted until they officially do it. It's as simple as that. 15-2, Blues Clues, 17-2, 16-0 going into the Super Bowl, whatever it is these days, 18-0 going to the Super Bowl. We know. Can't believe it until they achieve it. But I think in the back of y'all mind, we playing with house money. We went from one of the worst sports cities out there till we did it. We got all the teams doing good. So if the Lions were to fall off right now, man, I don't think most people would give a fuck. The Pistons is back. The Tigers is rolling. Eisman fired that coach, and they started to turn it around. So, I mean, it is what it is. The Pistons finally upheld their end of the bargain. Ain't that cold to be in no booty shorts. I just say that right now. But they upheld their end of the bargain. And I think, and he's still here, he's still alive. Come here, Enrique. Miles, come on. Let me see what time it is. I got a hair point. Come on. Sit. Come on. Hurry up and get it out. Come on. Do me a favor. I appreciate you for being a good dog. But I'm like, oh, this nigga getting a haircut on a Wednesday. Well, but hey, tomorrow is my birthday. And short of tomorrow, I'm not gonna have time to get a haircut other than the time zone tomorrow for the most part. So I got a lot of shit going on. But but yeah. I mean, you can try to get the bird. I don't think you're gonna get the bird, buddy. But go ahead. But yeah, we know it. So I think, he's playing with house money. But I think it is an overreaction from we already knew what it was to begin with. But also, we still got the draft. You know what I'm saying? We still got the post June 1st cuts. You know what I'm saying? So we can still. I mean, what if Micah Parsons and Dallas don't come to a deal? I mean, we don't know what they thinking. There's a lot of offseason left. It's a draft still left. Like I said, post June 1st cuts. I mean, it's a lot of offseason football to be had. So, you just never know. One of these crazy players might say, I want to trade, and they may accommodate them. Somebody might get accused of something, and they might get cut prematurely. So we don't know what they thinking. I mean, obviously, the key pass rushers that we really like is gone. And we know, like, for the most part, they probably would sign a guy like Von Miller. They signed Adrian Peterson. They probably would sign a guy like Von Miller, DeMarcus Lawrence. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's something that they probably would do. So, that's something that they probably would do. But, I mean, it's life. I really ain't, really tripping on it. I think they upheld their end of the bargain long enough for the rest of Detroit sports to catch up. But yeah, we know what it is. We know what it is. So, but somebody talked about Brad gonna get Hendrickson on your birthday tomorrow. That'd be the best gift anybody can give me, unless you gonna give me some whole bunch of fucking money. That gift would be better than the ickiest of the stickiest BBL Punani. But yes, my birthday fall on 313 day. I've been told. God knew where to place me. But on a serious note, because Kevin Seifert, it made sense. They had to transition the offensive line. It was time to transition. I really think it was a mock trade out there saying the Lions should trade Taylor Decker to the Kansas City Chiefs. I really think it's time to make the transition. It's time to flip. My thing was this. Outside of a pass rusher and finding durable people, I felt like it was time to rehaul that offensive line. I mean, he's been spending draft capital on offensive linemen. Sorsdale, Manu, Mahogany, and the thing about it is Mahogany played so well last year on short notice after he came back from his injury. I mean, in a couple of games that he started, he was the Lions' highest rated football player per Pro Football Focus. A couple games. It wasn't just like it wasn't just one. It was a couple games where he played really, really well. So for the most part, they're going to find a serviceable veteran for him to compete with. But for the most part, what they're doing is they're handing the reins over. They're handing the reins over to Christian Mahogany. In his last test, whoever they draft or whatever veteran they bring in to play guard, that's his last test. And the hope is that eventually they find somebody, Manu or Sorsdale, steps up and they take over for Graham Glasgow. So that's the hope. So he's been already preparing to transition the offensive line. So my whole hope was they would get rid of Decker, which they did, just re-sign him to a contract with understanding extension. Sewell on the left, find a right tackle prospect. They drafted enough guards. They should be good. So the whole thing about Zypher, yes, they were penny pinching, but they really believe in what Christian Mahogany. They really believe in him. So I'm not mad about that. I get it. So what's the other time? Like, come on, man. Like, this dude, he want to stop at every tree. People don't like walking my dog. Like I gotta snip him at some point for health reasons. But if I snip him, will he stop pissing on every tree? Is the question. Come on, man. Come on. Give me some love. Give me some love. But yeah. Yeah, the Lions have a tough schedule next year. That is true, but then again, you never know. Usually the Super Bowl runner-ups, they fall off the next year. So Kansas City, yeah, our division going to be tougher. They made a lot of moves. So we'll see. But Zypher leaving, I'm not concerned about it. Yeah, we lost Jalen Meeks-Maven again. Good special teams player. Effie Melifano, I think the injuries was the issue. Did Brad draft him or was that Bob? I don't remember. Brad and Bob sound like a burger shop. Well, I'm thinking about Bob's Burger. Tomorrow, I know one thing that won't fucking disappoint tomorrow. It's the last episode of Invincible, which I hate fucking TV these days. I mean, you wait a whole year. Not any questions I answer. You wait a whole year for 8 funky ass episodes. And then X-Men 97 taking 2 years off. They taking 2 years off. So you won't get a new X-Men 97 season until 2026. Stranger Things continue to take years off. That's one thing I miss about traditional television. Okay, you might get 20 to 30 episodes, 20 minutes because of the TV timeouts. But you knew, for the most part, you was going to get them in a timely manner. You knew it. Man, you crying for everybody but peeing on this tree. Come on. If it's this bad here, you can go with them. I promise. They can have you. I promise you. You can go live with them. So, yeah, I mean, but enough of my TV rant. So, we'll see what happens. But I think we are overreacting. We got a lot of off season to go. But I really don't give a fuck what they do at this point, the Lions. Pistons back. Tigers balling. I'm going to Tigers games. I'll be at the Pistons games all the time. I ain't gonna say all the time, but when I can. The Wings back. I mean, come on now. The Lions can go back to being the Lions if they want to. They can go back to being the SOL if they want to. I prefer not, but I don't really care. The Pistons laying Devin Booker, don't say nothing to me. Only reason I wouldn't get season tickets is that I work in the middle of the week. We lit. We lit. So Tom Gores is spending that cash. To an extent, he's reckless with his cash, which is really never good. But he hired the right people in place. Troy laid the foundation. Jerajan, he built on it, and we rolling. But that's all I got, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed the little improv live. Peace.